Okay, let's stand for the pledge, everyone, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, call the roll.
Call the roll, please.
Trustee Altenseed. Here. Trustee Martin. Here. Trustee Bender. Trustee Sellers. Supervisor Sellers.
Here.
Okay, trustees Bender and Sellers are absent.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I need a approval of minutes for September 3rd, 2013, Town Board regular meeting. I need a motion.
We're going to do both regular and the
Regular and town.
special.
Yeah, the special and the regular meeting.
Since they both happen the same day.
Right.
Okay. who
So I
makes
need a
the
motion.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of September 3rd, Town Board regular meeting
And the special
And the
meeting?
special?
and this special meeting,
Okay.
Good.
2013.
Do I hear a second?
Yeah, second.
Oh, second.
You know, okay.
Sorry, I'm asleep at the wheel here.
Motion by,
Question.
yes.
On page, second page
Mhm.
of the regular minutes,
Mhm.
under trustees report,
Mhm.
I had asked Attorney Phillips to explain in more detail court count 3 of the complaint that it says 2.
I changed it. I may not have changed in yours, but I changed it in the original instead.
Okay.
Because Mike corrected that.
Okay, then, since there was no answer, is that, I have in my notes that you indicated, Michael, that we had to have a 3-year escrow account, is that correct?
Not a 3-year escrow. Well, under Illinois law and according to the appellate court from our part of the state,
Uh-huh.
you're limited to 1-year contracts unless you put all the money to pay the contract in escrow at the beginning.
Okay, and what do you mean by all the money to pay the contract?
Well, if the contract is for more than 1 year, you have to pay all the money that is needed to pay under that agreement in order to be in an escrow account at the
Okay,
time.
what contract are you talking about? Because I thought we paid for the building.
No, the maintenance of the building is
The maintenance of the building.
intergovernmental agreement
Okay,
to
so
operate the
that
share
has
of
to
the
be
costs.
out how many years?
It has to, if it's gonna be more than 1 year, anything more than 1 year,
Yes,
it has to be fully funded at the beginning,
for how many years?
in perpetuity. That's the problem with multiple year contracts. And, you know, in state law, for cities, it specifically says you can't do more than 1 year, with rare exceptions.
Yes.
And the Second District Court of Appeals adopted that rule for townships also. Their district has a different rule, but our appellate court says you can only do 1-year contract unless you put all the money. Like if you have a 3-year collective bargaining agreement, you'd have to put all the salaries, money, plus all pay raises into a fund at the time you approve the contract.
Okay.
Or if you're gonna have a
So
full-
what about the conflict that you have with doing yearly budgets? Did they take that into consideration? Since
Well-
you do a yearly budget
Right.
based on your income.
That's what, that's a whole, it's based on the principle there has to be an appropriation for the contract before it's valid.
So there has to be a line item in the budget
There has to be an appropriation in
that
the budget.
appropriates
Sufficient funds.
an amount every year.
Yeah, unless there's an exception to it, like the municipalities have a couple exceptions, like
So
collective
we
bargaining
don't
agreements.
have a line item, like under our capital fund, that would have those funds in them for maintenance.
Right, you have no idea how long it's good, how much you would need too, because you don't know as you sit there with
But
the
what kind of
budget.
sense does that make?
The whole principle is government only operates on 1-year basis.
Right.
And with the appropriation, that's what the law is, and that's what the Second District said applies to us too.
Michael, that doesn't make sense.
Well,
does
you
it-
can argue to the appellate court. The Third District says there is a limit, but it's a limit to the term of office, both of which ended within
In
that
May.
one, and one under 2. They said, well, we won't go with the 1 year for the Third District, but that's not our area. We're bound by the Second District. The Third District said there is a limit, but if a contract can't go beyond the end of the board that approved it.
All right, so basically, it's an election term, it's a term.
It's a limited power of the town board, is what it is. It's a limit on the power of the town board.
To budget more than their term.
Right, exactly. For the third district, for the second district, it's an annual limit.
Okay. So for us, we have to budget for a 4-year period.
No, for us, we have to do it on a 1-year basis. If you wanna, suppose we're gonna buy some equipment, and we're gonna pay it over 3 years, we have to put the entire amount that we're gonna pay over 3 years in an escrow account at the time we approve the contract.
Okay.
Otherwise, it can only be a 1-year contract.
So if we have a contract with a computer company or any other kind of contract, do we have to do the same thing?
That's what it was in York Township. It was a computer company. They entered into a multi-year contract to pay this computer company over time. The appellate court ruled it invalid. Said, because you can't bind future boards.
So we have both computer contracts, but ours are only for a year.
As far as I know, I
That's the way they've been.
haven't been received one that isn't more than a year.
Okay, but our maintenance contract has to be for 4 years.
No, can't be longer than 1 year unless you put all the money in an escrow account.
Okay, but
You don't know how much the money's gonna
you're saying that we
be.
don't have a line item for any maintenance.
I
And that's
didn't
why.
say that. I didn't say that. I don't know what the line items are. All I'm saying from a legal standpoint, unless you put all the money into one fund and hold it there for a multi-year contract, then that's the only way you can get around that rule.
So what if you only hire a maintenance guy for a year? And you let him go, and then the next year hire somebody else?
Technically, that's a possibility. That's what happened in that one municipality. They had their entire union agreement voided because it was more than 1 year, and it called for pay raises in year 2 and year 3. And the appellate court threw it out, said it's invalid.
So why can't we resolve this rather than asking the court to resolve this?
Well, the question is as to whether, want the court to confirm, since we're asking them all these other questions, to confirm that we have the authority that we're not bound by this agreement in compliance with appellate court rulings.
We're not bound by the appellate court ruling.
We're not bound by the intergovernmental agreement for maintenance of the building.
The intergovernmental agreement
Right.
as stated under BAC and Township.
Right, that's who the agreement's between, right.
Right, right. Okay, so I'm still not, the clarification you want is to see if we are bound beyond a year or if we are only bound on a year-to-year.
Right.
Okay, okay. I've been struggling with that.
Okay, not a problem. You have a motion and a second on the floor to approval of the minutes. You have a motion and a second on the floor for approval of the minutes.
Okay, I need to call for a voice vote. I was waiting to see if there were any more questions. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No one opposes? Motion passes.
And I assume you vote aye also.
Yes, I vote aye also.
You didn't say it, that's
Sorry.
it.
Just had-
You have to
Aye.
say it.
Aye, I vote aye as well.
Okay,
Okay, we're fine.
All righty,
clear for now.
all right.
This one.
Clear as mud.
Okay, I need a motion to accept the claims and demands as presented. And I need a second as well to open the floor.
You got the wrong agenda.
So,
Need
I need a motion
I
for the talk about. Okay, I need a second.
A second.
All righty. Motion.
Okay, question.
All right.
Okay. I don't know if it's appropriate here or later, but under administration,
Mm-hmm.
you know, prior to the 18th of August,
Mhm.
we had breakouts that showed us where we were with each category. And those categories that were originally listed
Mhm.
broke out legal commodities, computer,
Mhm.
personnel. And I'm wondering why now we're all lumped in under administrative. Because it's very difficult for me to know where we're at budget-wise, how much we've spent of this year's budget, when they're all lumped together.
That's going to come in our expenditure budget report, which we're going to do at the next meeting.
Next meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so at the next meeting, you expect to have?
I'll have our expenditure budget report, let you know how much we spent out of each.
Yes, yes.
each line item.
Right, okay,
Yes.
so that would be on October,
17th.
Yes, is it the
Yeah,
second?
it's the 7th,
It's
October
third?
7th. No, it's
That's-
October 7th.
you're right.
October
right.
7th,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Brother's
now, will
birthday.
that be based on our budget, or is that gonna be based on our, what's this?
It's gonna be based on our budget,
Based on the budget?
yes.
Okay, because these
It'll ref-
bills payable come through, what's the other system?
Claims and demands.
Claims and demands through our
No.
QuickBooks system?
QuickBooks.
Yes,
This is all QuickBooks?
yes.
Okay, so it's not gonna be based on QuickBooks, it's gonna be based on our budget?
No, it's still come out of the QuickBooks system, but it's gonna be our budget, our actual budget.
Okay, so you're gonna take out of the QuickBooks system and put it in to our budget?
Yep.
Okay, okay. Great, that's what I needed to know, 'cause I was struggling with this and saw we were way over on some lines, and I
Mhm.
thought, whoa. when are
Don't
we
worry,
gonna get this?
we're gonna discuss all of that.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Any more questions?
Want me to call the roll?
Call the roll, please.
Okay, I'm gonna call. Altense,
Aye.
Martin,
I'm gonna vote no until I get a budget comparison.
and Sellers.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes.
All right.
Okay, do you want to not sign this then, Vicki?
Probably not,
she
because
shouldn't.
that would
Okay.
then indicate
Sign
that
that.
I
Right.
voted yes.
Then we'll just have Kathy sign.
But
it.
that's okay,
Sign that.
because it's not that I'm opposed to what we're doing, it's just that I don't have in my head where we're at.
Oh, I understand. We'll answer all your questions at the next meeting with the expenditure of the budget report. We'll answer all your
Okay, great.
questions. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir.
I was asked.
Okay.
I know you were sir.
All righty. Next on the agenda is the supervisor report. The correspondence, we have a conference for the supervisor, the assessor, and the clerk in Springfield. My blue folder, that's my blue folder.
It's November 10th through the 12th.
Yes, November 10th through the 12th. Letting the board know that we plan on attending that conference. The next thing is visual GA. The training will be coming this Wednesday. We will get our workers trained in visual GA this Wednesday. And I spoke about holding the comparison to budget report over until the next meeting. I do not have the property replacement tax report as of yet, but when I get it, I will give it to each trustee.
Okay.
That's all I have. So next is the assessor's report.
We published last week the multiplier that was placed on all properties was .9665. So there was obviously a negative. There was a loss on that.
You said .9665?
665.
Correct, on
Thank
all
you.
properties this time. It was not, the only properties that were excluded were farm and developer lots. Otherwise,
Farm in,
developer lots.
oh, okay. Is that in the city?
This is just Freeport Township.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so that would be the city then.
At this point, we just, now it's time for appeals. I don't know how many we'll get. I'm not anticipating many.
Okay.
Most of the again, all of them felt a loss in value, so it should be a minimal number of complaints. At least we're expecting it to be a small number. Other than that, there isn't anything in addition to that, so I'll let you know. We'll know more numbers of appeals next meeting.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the trustees report. Trustees, have anything? No? Yes?
Already gave you mine,
Yes. Okay.
2 cents.
All right, thank you.
No other business?
No other business? Okay, public comment. Anyone from the?
Nope.
No public? No public comment. Okay.
Motion to
We need a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn then.
So moved. Is this a record?
Second, yes, seems like it. Alrighty, voice vote, right? Okay, all in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Aye, aye.
Aye. Okay.
Motion passed.
Motion passed, meeting is adjourned.